Okay, this is why Harry said, quote, "Not my children." This is 1:58. All right, she retweeted that. Okay, Robert Johnson is in this video clip talking about how the media treated young Harry. He was used as a scapegoat for his brother. It looked like the media are afraid of what he will say about them. All right, 1:58.
Well, I knew him as a young boy. He was a bit of a rascal then, but a likable rascal.
School was a success for William, but not for Harry. He didn't really fit in very well at Eton. I'm not sure he was very happy there. You know, I think he was in a pretty bad place at the time.
Harry had already got himself a bit of a reputation for misbehaving, and it was that narrative that stuck. In no time at all, the party prince was born.
Can you imagine that? It's not all the time you in the same mood. So they capture one moment of his life and they kept it as if it is his entire life. A party boy. So they kept that narrative going and then make it seem like he's always a party boy. Meanwhile, he's doing a lot of other things. He's creating charities and he's the only royal who actually care about the work. You know?
I get all of my passion, inspiration and energy from young people. And that is from the ages of 6 or 7 in the Caribbean, when you get a 6-year-old turning around to you and telling you exactly how much damage your country and the developed world is causing them, all the way to 28, 30-year-olds who at some point in their life have already a better understanding of duty and service than I ever did at that age. Because it's all about giving back. So yeah, I think that, look, lots of people say that, oh, your job of traveling the world is wonderful. Of course it's wonderful. But when we get sent to some countries, we don't always get to see the beautiful parts. We're always there trying to deal with some of the issues, but also doing everything we can to bring people together to make change, to make positive change. And it's an absolute joy and a privilege to meet the younger generation of change makers across the world who genuinely believe in the fact that they, as a single person and as a group and as a community and as a nation, not only can change their country, but can change the world as well. And that is what keeps me going on a day-to-day basis.
And he's the only royal who actually care about the work, you know?
Younger generation coming through, trying to do it our way, because the world has changed so much. We believe that by streamlining and by bringing people together in order to effect real positive change is the only way forward. And you know, it worked for previous generations, and we will always say yes to becoming patron of a charity that we believe in and that we're incredibly passionate about. But I think in today's world, you have to be involved with things that make sense to where your passions lie, rather than potentially turning up to a charity once a year.
And he's the only royal who actually care about the work, you know?
Puts a finger down on something and says, this one.
Yeah, it's I think when you're part of a large charity or a large foundation, I think it is very hard to say no. But I think what we've realized is it's even harder to have a finger in every single pie. And therefore, for us, early intervention, where possible, is definitely the key. Impact is definitely has to be the priority. You know, none of us want to spend the rest of our lives connected to charities of which we're just making people's lives better. Far rather identify a problem and try and fix it before it becomes an even bigger problem.
And he's the only royal who actually care about the work, you know?
Has this been easier or harder than you thought to start your own foundation and to, what would you say?
I think it's made easier with the people that we work with, the support that we have. Obviously, it's certainly made easier having the name and the position, because with that comes the ability to convene some amazing people and some expertise, of which a lot of other organizations wouldn't have the opportunity to do. So yeah, it's been emotional. highs, no lows, but there is so much to do.
There's a lot to do. There's a lot to do.
There is so much to do, as everybody in this room knows. There is so much to do, and the question is making sure that you streamline it, you do it the right way first time, and the crucial point is that we listen, and that we don't go into a project, we don't go into a community and stamp our authority down and go, we're the Royal Foundation, this is how you're going to do it. It's completely opposite. And that's why I believe that we've been so successful, is because we've gone into those communities and said, right, we all know there's a problem, what is the solution? And let us facilitate and fund you in the process.
My goodness, can you imagine this? Let's say over the weekend, I was in the mood, play with my kids, they went fishing and all of that. Can you, that one moment, let's say we went fishing and they kept that moment as if it's all the time I'm fishing. This is the thing that they did with Harry here. Okay, one moment of his time, enjoying himself, having fun with his friend, and they kept that. And they make it seem like this is what he does all the time.
18, out on the town, and unprotected by any deal with the press.
Yes, he would get absolutely slaughtered in a nightclub, rock out into the street.
There's that woman. Oh, yes, I will. This could be a problem. That's her.
Do you see any scenario by which Harry and Meghan overshadow Kate and
Oh,
William?
yes, I do. I do. I mean, this is immediately was my first thought. You know, this could be a problem.
These people, I mean, these are all people who don't have the kind of common sense to say what they're doing is wrong. Oh, my God. They know from right from wrong. But yet, they kept the wrong going. Insulting it, using people as a game.
3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, paparazzi would be there, cameras in his face. But you know, what would happen is the newspapers would have those shots from that one episode, and they would use them in that week's papers, but then they'd hang on to them and they'd chuck them into the paper a couple of weeks later. 3 weeks after that.
So his behaviour is being exaggerated by the way the press.
Precisely. They'd already written the narrative about Harry. He was the wild child. He was off the rails. The complete antithesis of his.
And the worst thing is, I know some of you, I read a comment over the weekend that you want to listen to the video. You understand. That comment said they understand that I have to pause and interrupt it, but they want to listen to the video completely. But the thing that I want to say here, the worst thing with Harry, the only person who really true care for him at that time would have been his mother. But he had no one to protect him because everyone in that family are looking after themselves because all of them always doing shitty stuff. And they use Harry as the only one, the scapegoat, because there was no one else to protect them. My goodness, they all are baggage for God. You know, the one who just passed, I hope God, you know, have a special place for her as well. For the kind of lifestyle she allowed things to happen. And the lifestyle that she lived.
His goody two-shoes brother.
At the end of the day, he was only a teenager, had lost his mum at a very early age, was rebelling. You know, he wasn't the only one. Prince William was getting drunk quite a lot himself. Nobody seemed to report about that.
There it is. All right. William was doing the same thing, but nope, nobody's reporting about it. Let's listen to it again.
He was rebelling. You know, he wasn't the only one. Prince William was getting drunk quite a lot himself. Nobody seemed to report about that. So there was an image of the good prince and the bad prince, and Harry got labelled the bad prince.
If the problem was Harry, as one senior courtier said to me, the solution was the army. But that wouldn't happen until he was 20. Which meant the Royal Press Office faced nearly 2 years of Prince Harry as fair game for a hungry press pack.
Wow, fair game. Fair game. They're using his life as a game. My goodness. There's me here. November 26th, 2 days ago, that's when I saw it. Kate Tabloid will have a lot of fun. People's life taking as fun. Wow, these people are truly evil. Baggage for God. All right. Oh, there's more. Okay. He knew that his children will get triple abuse because of their DNA. He also knew that his children won't get any protection from his family based on how his pregnant wife was treated. All right, 6 seconds.
If Harry has a boy, in 18 years' time, tabloid reporters will have a lot of fun.
That's the thing again. These people are using people's life as game. We'll have a lot of fun. You know what? God, you need to reverse this. These people who's using people's life as fun, the same kind of treatment that they're inflicting on people, they need to experience that. Because, oh my God, this is freaking scary. Listen to it again.
If Harry has a boy, in 18 years' time, tabloid reporters will have a lot of fun.
And 18 times, my God, tabloid will have a lot of fun. Okay, his voice was extra gleeful toward the end. My God. All right, they assumed that he and his children were theirs to abuse and bully. That's why they are mad that he left with his family. Never in their wildest dream, they thought that he would leave the institution. Okay, he was right on all points, being told that if they corrected the made Kate cry meant they will never protect their children when they didn't even have children at that point. Okay, what's sick F taking the hope for abuse of young men a lot of fun. That's the thing I'm saying. They're using people's lives as fun. My God, that is the business model Harry was talking about. He took it growing up because he didn't have a choice. However, he didn't want his children to experience what he went through. He broke the circle. That's why he even said when, I think from the Me You Can't See or something like that, where he said the cycle needs to stop at some point. I'm just paraphrasing.
Suffered, do everything you can to make sure that whatever experiences negative experiences that you had, that you can make it right for your kids.
And I'm not gonna put that clip because every time I put it, I get the flag for it. Wow, receipt, period. All right, next tweet.